Day 3 of the Copa del Rey here in Palma, and early morning preparations of all 117 boats were well underway as teams waited for the breeze to fill in. There was to be one coastal race for the IRCs, while the rest of the classes were scheduled to complete 2 races if the breeze allowed. The IRC Zero fleet included 3 mini-maxis and 1 Bermudian sloop, making for some interesting comparisons during the competition. It was always going to be a close race between Shockwave and Allegra, and Shockwave managed to pull a good performance out of the bag, closing the gap between them and the leaders. An unlucky moment from Stig meant the team would be looking for a stronger performance later in the week. It's vital for the teams to get the best possible speed out of their boat, no matter what the conditions. This is where careful trimming and fine-tuning comes into play, as even small adjustments can mean big gains on the racecourse. In the IRC 52 fleet, Quantum Racing would score 2 bullets in a row, placing them at the top of the leaderboard, with a safe 2.5-point lead from placed second Ran at the end of the day. They chose to start at the committee boat end of the line in their first race, and it proved to be a good move as competitors starting at the pin end, including Spirits of Mallow and 6, lost precious meters as a result. The first upwind was a tricky one for all teams, with boats tacking a few too many times and losing precious seconds. All eyes were on the Alpha race course for the X-35 class. Lel, again currently in second place overall, started on the pin end and were quick to gain momentum off the start line, putting themselves firmly in the lead. Team Red Electra de España didn't have the best start and were unable to recover, finishing the race in 6th place. However, finally scoring the bullet in the race was Margherita JS team after a strong performance despite the tricky conditions. Meanwhile, after 2 races from the J80 fleet, Team Turismo do Algarve found themselves at the top of the leaderboard. In the ORC1 fleet, Rats on Fire continued their stable performance, putting them in the top spot on the overall leaderboard. Behind them, and with a gap of 12 points, is Group Clinico, who needn't be too worried about their position, as chasing them in 3rd place is the French team of H.R.H, who would have to play catch-up to the tune of 14 points if they want to improve their standings. Finally, in the ORC2 class, Movistar came out on top yet again, scoring 2 more bullets and declaring themselves invincible in the process. There's still 3 days of racing left at the Copa del Rey MAPFRE, and the best is yet to come as the teams jostle for position and fight for the win out on the water. Join us tomorrow for all of the action.
Okay, so with Ignacy Trier, then the trimmer on Rio. Ignacy, what's the weather going to do today? You're a Palma local.
Well, today looks like typical summer conditions here, the typical Copa del Rey conditions, okay? So the sea breeze is going to come more or less in time, around 1 o'clock, I guess. The only thing is probably it's going to be shifting more right than usual because the external effect. But I think we're going to see a good day of something between 10 to 12 knots with a real sea breeze today.
And the coastal course today?
Well, the race committee has like different options. They will tell us which option they choose depending of the wind they found outside finally. And the good part of that is they have like in every option they have like 2 variable marks that they can allocate depending of the wind. So we're going to have a pretty interesting coastal race with a lot of up and down winds, very long.
Some reaching perhaps. Might we see the A3s today?
We hope so. We hope so to see the A3s. It will be some leg that is a big chance that we're going to see finally the A3s on the TP52s.
Good. And how's life on Rio?
We are improving every day, okay? I mean, Rio is a pretty young team. I'm not talking about age, I'm talking about the time that we are together. There's a lot of things where to improve, but we're working hard. Manoj, the owner, is giving us the option to talk every day, to see how to improve. We had make a good step forward having D. Smith with us. And I think now we can start to see our path that is going better and better every day. So we are pretty happy with our actual result. There's a lot of race to go, and hopefully we're going to do a good event.
And Ignacio, you've seen a few Copa del Rey's over the years. How does this one compare?
To compare to what?
To previous years.
This one?
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty similar. I have to say that probably we are seeing a rise of the 52s compared to the last 2 years. Also, the Sotos are start to moving and increasing. It looks like we touched the bottom last year in the Copa race from a point of view of participation and level of sailors, and the race is rising up again, is my sensation. It's more calm, but at the same time, it's a lot of boats, but a lot of good level. It's going up again.
It's good news.
Yeah, it's good news for everyone.
Good. Have a good day. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks to you. Bye.
And after 3 hours of racing, the 32nd Copa del Rey MAPFRE for the 52 Super Series, it's Quantum Racing which scored the overall win in the coastal race today. Started off in a good sea breeze, nice upwind and downwind legs in a fairly conventional track. Then extended with a longer course up to Capo Andrax and Eleta. And the upwind, downwind there, breeze was a little bit more shifty, and that's really where Quantum Racing managed to step away. The final downwind, Azura managed to get up to second place to get a useful result for them, with Ran Racing in third. Keeps Ran in contention as we go into the final couple of days here in Palma.